This video chart presentation is Sirius XM Radio. It's a NASDAQ Global Select stock trading under ticker SIRI. It's a chart that we revisit once in a while. Been on a real nice climb for the last 5 months. And technically speaking, I think this is one to keep on radar again because it just pushed through a resistance point, and it's coming off of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Looks like it's going into a big cup and handle. And I want to try and identify a few different support points and point out what I'd be looking for to try and break some resistance. Just going to run through these indicators real quick. Stock's been in a nice uptrend. I'll be looking for that sort of uptrend to continue. Right now in a little bit of a retracement. That's to be expected. Stock's basically been channeling sideways. This right here is what a lot of technical traders call a W pattern. It can be pretty bullish. Histogram trying to pop back through zero right now. PPO, very similar look. ADX course is retraced. And really what I noticed, this still isn't that high. It's only registering around a 30. There's a lot of upward movement that can still happen with this ADX. MFIs, over the course of the uptrend, basically holding over top of 50. That's bullish positioning. Turning down, just not too concerned about that right now. As I said, stock kind of has been channeling sideways off the highs for the last month or so. Accumulation distribution does look like it's trying to make a little bit of an uptrend for the first time in quite a while. It's reiterated by shaking money flow, holding in the green, buying pressure is overcoming selling pressure. CCI, that break of 100 will be the buy point. For users of the CCI, it would be in a holding pattern right now until it breaks back down through 100. Full stow showing some nice momentum coming into play. It's a real nice look to the tricks. I'm going back through here. Broke its downtrend, moved up, broke through zero, continued to make higher lows. Looks like it's rotating again right now, holding over top of zero. It's basically all things bullish with the tricks at this point. RSIs, basically what we always talk about. Always wanting to see it hold above 50. So everything with the indicators is kind of going along right as expected. Stock's made a real nice climb since October, and the indicators are basically going right along with it. Golden cross of the 50 through the 200-day moving average. Of course, that's very bullish. See, since back here in December, the price per share has been holding over top of the 50. 200-day moving average is in a little bit of an uptrend. This chart will become even stronger if the 200-day starts to roll upward and gets a much stronger pattern to it, something along these lines. But all in all, nice look. This candle pattern right through here basically be considered inverted head and shoulders. That being the left shoulder, that being the head, and that side being the right shoulder. A very bottom support would have come in there right around $1.65. You can see historically it was a support level. It was support on the left and right shoulders. And the breakout point of the pattern would have been right there around $1.92. Trying to take out some old highs. This is about as technically perfect as it gets. Increase in volume, gap right through the 200-day moving average on a breakout of resistance. That would tell me this stock's going to try and continue higher. And of course it did. Picked up about another 10%. So on any real strong pullback, I'd certainly look for that level to hold as a support. That's a very strong resistance point. In the more near term, I'd come back in here around $2. But I'd be looking more right around this $2.07 area. 50-day moving average is dynamic. It's climbing upward. That's going to intersect, give some dynamic support to it. Parabolic SARS happens to be right there. If it hits that, we'll flip up on top. A little bit more bearish if that happens. But if it does pull back, that's what I'd want to see hold. Certainly hold above the 50-day moving average, something it's been doing for a couple months. But the reason I wanted to do this chart is because it just pushed through another resistance point. 219, 220 was serving as resistance. It hasn't spent much time above it, obviously just one day. Yesterday it dipped back low but pulled up into the close. Right now I'm trying to see it hold over top of that because it is a breakout point. And what I'd be looking for on this, it looks like it's forming a big cup and handle pattern. It's going to meet some resistance again around 235, but this is multi-year highs at 244. And if this tries to keep pushing upward, I'd want to see how it responds to that 235, but I'd be looking for it to try and challenge these old highs. Volume is never an issue with SIRI, 55 million shares traded. They have got an absolute ton of shares outstanding. But from a technical perspective, SIRI has a pretty nice look to it. I'm going to throw this back on radar and see if it's going to continue some upward pressure, get these resetting indicators to roll back upward, move into some power zones, show some real strong momentum, and continue to strengthen the overall trend. Those are the type of things that I'll be looking for in the SIRI chart. But as always, it's merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching and trade smart.